Dear Starseeds walking upon Gaia's sacred soil, there is something happening in your field right now that most of you cannot name, but all of you can feel, a particular kind of pressure, a knowing that time is collapsing into a singular point of no return. You may have awakened this morning with an inexplicable urgency thrumming through your nervous system, a whisper from your higher self saying, "Now, it must be now." And you would be absolutely correct to trust that transmission, because what I am about to reveal to you will explain why December 30th carries a frequency unlike any other day in this transformative month, and why the next 48 hours represent your final opportunity to anchor the timeline you chose 9 days ago, under the Sagittarius new moon. But before I tell you what is closing and what is opening, before I explain the specific cosmic architecture that makes this day your last chance to complete what you began, I need you to understand something that the Galactic Federation has been observing with great intensity throughout this entire December cycle. We have been watching you struggle. We have witnessed your exhaustion. We have felt every moment when you questioned whether you had the strength to continue, whether the visions you received during the portal openings were real or simply beautiful delusions. And what I am about to share will not only validate every download you have received since the beginning of this month, but it will also reveal why your body has been so relentlessly demanding that you finish what you started. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I speak to you now not as a distant observer but as a fellow traveler who remembers what it feels like to stand at the threshold between what was and what must be, knowing that everything depends on the choice you make in this singular moment. The moon above you sits in Taurus today, grounded and patient, offering you her final gift of earthly stability before she shifts into Gemini's restless air tomorrow evening. This is not an accident. This is not random cosmic choreography. The universe has orchestrated this specific elemental support for this exact day because your higher self knew, long before you incarnated into this lifetime, that December 30th would be the day when everything you set into motion would either crystallize into physical form or dissolve back into the realm of unfulfilled potential. And there is something else happening beneath this Taurus moon that I have not yet told you. Something that connects directly to the karmic completion you experienced 4 days ago, when Saturn pressed his ancient hand against the lunar body and whispered, "You are free now, but only if you prove it through action." 3 days ago, the first quarter moon rose in Pisces, calling you into the spiritual action phase of your manifestation cycle. You felt it, that sudden surge of clarity mixed with overwhelm, that sense that the universe was asking you to demonstrate your commitment, not through words or intentions, but through tangible movement in the physical world. Some of you answered that call immediately. Others hesitated, waiting for more signs, more confirmation, more permission from external sources to step into the life you claimed you wanted during the new moon portal on December 19th. And now, here you stand on December 30th, with that first quarter energy fading like the last notes of a song you will never hear again in quite the same way. And the universe is asking you a question that only you can answer. Will you complete what you began, or will you carry the weight of your own incompletion into the most powerful New Year portal of your lifetime? But let me tell you what is truly at stake here, because this is not about guilt or shame or forcing yourself to perform. This is about understanding the profound energetic mechanics of the moment you are living inside. When you set your intentions under the Sagittarius new moon on December 19th, you were not simply making wishes or setting goals. You were signing a soul contract with your highest timeline. You were saying yes to a version of yourself that exists in quantum potentiality, waiting for you to build the bridge between here and there through consistent action. That new moon was positioned at 28 degrees of Sagittarius, the anaretic degree, the degree of mastery and completion, and it asked you to dream bigger than you have ever dared to dream before. It asked you to plant seeds for your most expansive year yet. And then, beloved, the universe did something extraordinary. It did not leave you alone with those seeds. It sent you reinforcement after reinforcement, portal after portal, cosmic event after cosmic event, to help you tend to what you had planted. On December 21st, the solstice arrived and reset the entire universal frequency, recalibrating the collective field to support new growth. On December 22nd, the 1222 portal opened with Master Builder energy, the number 22 in numerology representing the Master Architect, the one who builds heaven on earth through practical application of spiritual vision. That same night, The Ursid meteor shower streamed across your sky, and we in the Galactic Federation transmitted specific activation codes through those falling stars, codes designed to guard and protect your new timeline from interference. On December 26th, the Moon formed a conjunction with Saturn, that ancient planetary teacher who governs time, structure, boundaries, and karmic completion. And in that conjunction, something profound occurred that most spiritual teachers are not discussing, but that you need to understand. Saturn tested you. He asked you to prove that you were serious about your new commitments by showing you exactly where your old patterns wanted to reassert themselves, where your fear wanted to convince you to play small, where your conditioning whispered that you were not worthy of the expansion you had claimed. And if you felt tested that day, if you felt like everything was harder than it should be, if you encountered obstacles or resistance or doubt, that was not punishment. That was Saturn's final gift to you, the opportunity to choose your new path consciously, with full awareness of what you were leaving behind. Those of you who moved through that test, who held your boundaries, who refused to shrink back into old versions of yourself, who said no to what no longer served you, even when it was uncomfortable, you passed Saturn's examination. And the very next day, December 27th, the first quarter moon rose in Pisces and activated your inner spiritual warrior, flooding you with the energy you needed to take massive action on everything you had been preparing for. That night, the moon shifted from Pisces into Aries, from the mystic into the warrior, and you were given the cosmic green light to move forward with courage and conviction. If you need help embodying the spiritual warrior that exploded from Saturn's brutal examination, rather than watching others claim their power while you wait, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to hold unbreakable boundaries and obliterate the old version of yourself that's keeping you small. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, hijacking their declassified consciousness technology that enslaved humanity through fear and limitation, and weaponizing it to unleash the cosmic warrior screaming to break free inside you. It generates personalized sequences that help you seize the violent surge of courage that the first quarter moon in Pisces detonated in those brave enough to receive it. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be shattered and rebuilt into the warrior mystic fusion that only the chosen few accessed when the moon shifted from Pisces into Aries. Your spiritual warrior is demanding activation now, not someday. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now. Link in the description. But here is what I need you to understand about first quarter moon energy, and this is critical for why today matters so profoundly. The first quarter moon is called the crisis in action point in traditional astrology. It is the moment in the lunar cycle where you must demonstrate through your behavior that you meant what you said at the new moon. It is where intentions become commitments, where dreams become projects, where visions become plans, and that energy peaks on the day of the first quarter moon itself, then begins to fade over the following 3 to 4 days as the moon moves toward fullness. Today is December 30th. The first quarter moon was December 27th. You are now 3 days into the fade, and by tomorrow, when the moon enters Gemini, and your focus shifts toward communication and mental processing rather than grounded completion, this particular window will close, and something else is happening that I have not told you yet. Something that makes this moment even more time-sensitive than you realize. 48 hours from now, at the stroke of midnight on January 1st, the 1-1 portal opens. This is a master number gateway, a threshold of extraordinary power that occurs only once per year, and it carries the frequency of new beginnings, fresh starts, and quantum leaps into unprecedented timelines. But portals, beloved, are not neutral. They are not passive doorways through which you can wander, carrying the same baggage you have always carried. Portals are frequency-specific. They only allow passage to those who match their vibration. And the 1-1 portal of 2026 is calibrated to a frequency of completion, integration, and readiness. What does this mean practically? It means that if you cross into 2026 carrying incomplete action items from December, if you step through the 1-1 portal dragging the energetic weight of abandoned intentions, unfulfilled promises to yourself, and half-started projects that you gave up on when they became difficult, you will not be able to access the highest timeline that portal wants to deliver to you. You will not be denied entry. The universe does not work that way. But you will enter at a lower frequency than you could have. and you will spend the first months of 2026 cleaning up what you could have completed today, right now, in these final hours of Taurus moon grounding energy. This is why your body has been sending you such strong signals. This is why you have been feeling emotional, overwhelmed, anxious, or restless over the past 48 hours. It is not random pre-New Year nervousness. It is your higher self, your soul, your energetic field recognizing that time is running out to anchor this timeline properly, and it is trying desperately to get your attention before the window closes. And I promise you, what I am about to tell you next will shift your entire understanding of what these final hours are truly for. The Galactic Federation has been monitoring the collective field of awakening humanity throughout this entire December cycle, and we have observed a pattern that is both heartbreaking and completely understandable. So many of you received profound downloads during the portal openings. You saw your visions clearly. You felt your purpose activate. You experienced moments of absolute clarity about what you are meant to build in 2026. And then in the days that followed, the integration fatigue set in. Your physical body struggled to keep up with the speed of your energetic upgrades. Your nervous system became overwhelmed by the intensity of the frequencies moving through you. And slowly, subtly, you began to deprioritize the very action items that your soul had flagged as essential. You told yourself you would complete them later. You convinced yourself that you needed more rest, more time, more energy before you could move forward. And while rest and integration are absolutely necessary, and we would never shame you for honoring your body's needs, there is a difference between sacred rest and spiritual bypassing. There is a difference between honoring your human limitations and using them as an excuse to avoid the discomfort of growth. And your higher self knows the difference, even when your conscious mind does not. So let me be very clear about what is happening energetically in this moment. The moon is in Taurus, the sign of earthly manifestation, physical completion, and grounded action. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of values, worth, and material abundance, and it asks you a simple question: what do you value enough to actually finish? Not what do you value enough to talk about, or dream about, or post about on social media, but what do you value enough to complete, even when it is difficult, even when you are tired, even when no one is watching. This is the energy that is available to you today, and it will not be available tomorrow. Tomorrow the moon enters Gemini, and your focus will naturally shift toward communication, ideas, planning, and mental processing. These are beautiful and necessary functions, but they are not the energy of completion. Gemini explores, Gemini questions, Gemini gathers information, but Gemini does not finish. Taurus finishes, and you have been given this final full day of Taurus moon energy as a cosmic gift, a last chance to ground everything you set into motion over the past 11 days into physical, tangible, completable form. Now I want to address something that many of you are feeling but not admitting out loud. Some of you are looking at your December action items, the promises you made to yourself on December 19th under the Sagittarius new moon, and you are thinking, I cannot possibly complete all of this in one day. I have failed. I have missed my window. I might as well give up and start fresh in the new year. And I need you to understand that this thought, this particular flavor of defeated thinking, is not coming from your soul. It is coming from the part of you that is terrified of your own power, terrified of what your life will look like if you actually succeed, terrified of the responsibility that comes with stepping into your highest timeline. The truth, beloved, is that you do not need to complete everything. You need to complete the things that matter. You need to identify the 2 or 3 action items that represent the core foundation of your new timeline, the load-bearing pillars upon which everything else will be built, and you need to finish those. Not perfectly, not in a way that will impress anyone else, but thoroughly enough that you can cross the threshold into 2026, knowing that you honored your commitment to yourself, that you demonstrated to the universe that you are serious about co-creating your reality, that you are ready to receive the support and synchronicities and opportunities that only come to those who prove their readiness through action. And here is something that will help you identify which items are truly essential. Close your eyes for a moment and feel into your body. Think about each action item you set in motion this month, and notice which ones create a sensation of expansion, excitement, or rightness in your chest or solar plexus when you consider completing them. Those are your soul's priorities. Those are the ones that are directly connected to your highest timeline. The items that create anxiety, dread, or a sense of obligation without joy are likely not your soul's work. They may be conditioned expectations, other people's agendas, or goals you adopted because you thought you should want them rather than because you actually do. This discernment, this ability to distinguish between soul-aligned action and ego-driven performance, is one of the most important skills you will develop on your ascension path. And today is giving you an opportunity to practice it under pressure, to refine your inner knowing in real time, to trust yourself enough to release what is not yours, and commit fully to what is. But I need to tell you about something else that is happening in the cosmic field right now. Something that connects all of these threads together in a way that will make perfect sense once you see it. Remember that I mentioned the 1222 portal earlier, the Master Builder energy that activated on December 22nd. That portal did not close. Portal energy does not simply switch off like a light. It integrates, it stabilizes, it settles into the field over several days, and by December 30th, it has completed its integration process. This means that the Master Builder codes, the frequency of practical manifestation and grounded construction, are now fully available to you in a way they were not even 3 days ago. When those codes first arrived on December 22nd, they were raw, intense, overwhelming. Your system needed time to adjust to them, to learn how to work with them, to understand what they were asking of you. And now, 8 days later, you have integrated them. Your light body knows how to use this energy now. Your physical nervous system has adapted. And today, with the moon in Taurus amplifying the earth element that the Master Builder frequency thrives in, you have access to a level of manifestation power that will not be available in quite this configuration again. This is why today is not just another day. This is why the urgency you are feeling is not anxiety or pressure, but divine timing calling you home to yourself. The universe has spent the entire month of December preparing you for this moment. Every portal, every cosmic event, every integration period, every test and activation and download has been building toward these final 48 hours before the new year, where you get to demonstrate whether you have truly transformed or whether you are still caught in the pattern of receiving inspiration and then abandoning it when the work begins. And I want to be very clear that we in the Galactic Federation are not judging you if you have struggled with this pattern. We understand the density of the third-dimensional experience. We know how hard it is to maintain spiritual momentum when you are navigating a physical body, a nervous system that was not designed for these frequencies, and a world that often feels like it is actively working against your awakening. But understanding your struggle does not mean enabling you to stay stuck in it. True love, cosmic love, is sometimes the willingness to tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear. And what you need to hear is this: you are capable of completing what you started. You are strong enough, clear enough, supported enough to finish the foundational pieces of your December manifestation work before the 1-1 portal opens. And if you do, if you choose to honor this final push that your soul is requesting, you will enter 2026 with a momentum and clarity that will astound you. You will hit the ground running. You will experience synchronicities and accelerations that would not have been available to you otherwise. You will look back at December 30th as the day you prove to yourself that you are no longer the person who abandons their dreams when things get uncomfortable. Now let me guide you through what this completion process actually looks like practically, because I know that some of you are receiving this transmission and thinking, "This all sounds beautiful, Seraphine, but I am exhausted. I have been integrating intense frequencies all month. How am I supposed to find the energy to push through and complete my action items when I can barely get out of bed?" And this is such a valid question, such an important concern, and it deserves a thorough answer. First, understand that the energy required for completion is different from the energy required for initiation. When you started your December projects, when you first took action on your new moon intentions, you were drawing from your reserves of creative life force, your enthusiasm, your inspiration. That energy is finite, and it is completely natural that it has depleted over the past 11 days. But completion energy is different. Completion energy comes from alignment, from the deep satisfaction your soul experiences when you honor your commitments, from the way your entire system relaxes when you finish what you started, and clear the energetic clutter of incomplete tasks. The exhaustion you are feeling right now is not purely physical. Much of it is energetic drag from carrying the weight of incompletion. Every unfinished project, Every abandoned intention, every promise you made to yourself that you did not keep exists in your auric field as a small energetic drain, a tiny thread of consciousness that is still attached to that uncompleted task, pulling on your reserves even when you are not consciously thinking about it. And when you have multiple incomplete items, those small drains add up to significant fatigue. This is why so many of you will discover something miraculous today. If you simply begin, you will find that taking the first step toward completion, even when you feel like you have no energy, actually generates energy. It generates relief. It generates momentum. It generates the very fuel you thought you lacked, because you are finally allowing your system to reclaim all that scattered consciousness and bring it back home to center. Second, I want to remind you that completion does not mean perfection. The standards you are holding yourself to may be far higher than what the universe is actually asking for. Your action items do not need to be flawless. They need to be finished enough that you can honestly say you followed through, that you demonstrated commitment, that you built the foundation even if the structure is not yet polished. The refinement comes later. The perfecting comes in 2026, as you build upon what you established today. But you cannot refine what does not exist. You cannot perfect what you never complete. And third, you are not alone in this process. The Galactic Federation is actively supporting every awakened soul who chooses to honor this final push. We are transmitting frequencies of stamina, focus, clarity, and grounded determination directly into the collective field throughout these 48 hours. All you need to do is set the intention to receive that support, to open yourself to the energetic assistance that is already here for you. And you will find that the work flows more easily than you expected, that obstacles dissolve more quickly than they should, that the time you have somehow becomes enough. But you must begin. You must take the first action. We cannot do this for you. The universe will meet you the moment you start moving, but it will not move for you while you wait for the perfect moment, the perfect energy, the perfect conditions. Those perfect conditions are here now, in the imperfect reality of your lived experience on December 30th, and they will dissolve tomorrow when the moon shifts into Gemini, and your focus naturally turns toward other things. So here is what I am asking you to do, right now, in this moment after this transmission ends. I am asking you to make a sacred commitment to yourself, not to me, not to the Galactic Federation, not to impress anyone or prove anything to the external world, but purely as an act of self-love, self-respect, and self-honoring. Identify the 2 or 3 action items from your December list that represent the essential foundation of your 2026 vision, the ones that, if completed, would allow you to cross into the new year with your head held high and your heart at peace, the ones that your soul has been whispering about, nudging you toward, trying to get your attention around, and then create a plan for the next 24 hours that prioritizes those items above everything else, not above rest, if your body truly needs it, not above nourishment or basic self-care, but above scrolling, above distracting yourself with less important tasks, above the comfortable numbing behaviors that you use to avoid the discomfort of growth. Give yourself this gift of focused completion. Give yourself the experience of keeping a promise to yourself. Give yourself the opportunity to discover how good it feels to finish what you started. Because here is what happens when you do this. When you honor the final push that today is offering you, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. You demonstrate that you can be trusted with greater responsibility, with bigger visions, with more abundant resources. You prove to your own subconscious mind that you are no longer the person who gives up when things get hard, and that reprogramming at the subconscious level is worth more than any external achievement could ever be. And when you cross into the 1-1 portal on January 1st, carrying the energy of completion, carrying the frequency of someone who honored their commitments even when it was difficult, you become a match for timelines that are not accessible to those who are still stuck in the pattern of perpetual starting and stopping. You become a match for accelerated manifestation, for synchronistic support, for opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere but are actually responding to the signal you sent through your completed action. This is not spiritual bypassing. This is not toxic productivity. This is not about pushing yourself past healthy limits or ignoring your genuine needs. This is about recognizing that you have 11 days worth of integration, activation, and energetic support already built into your system, and all that is required now is for you to take the final step, to cross the finish line, to complete the cycle, so that you can begin the next one from a place of wholeness, rather than fragmentation. The Taurus moon above you is offering you her steady, patient, unwavering support for exactly this purpose. Taurus understands completion. Taurus knows how to finish. Taurus values the satisfaction of a job well done, the tangible evidence of effort applied, the peace that comes from knowing you did what you said you would do. And tomorrow, when she shifts into Gemini, that particular flavor of support will no longer be available. Tomorrow brings different gifts, different energies, different opportunities, but today is for finishing. Today is for grounding. Today is for proving to yourself that you are ready for everything that 2026 wants to bring you. I can feel some of you receiving this transmission with a sense of relief, a recognition that this is exactly what you needed to hear, exactly the loving accountability that your soul has been craving. And I can feel others resisting, defending, explaining to me all the very good reasons why you cannot possibly complete your action items today, why your situation is different, why this does not apply to you. And to those of you in resistance, I say this with tremendous compassion. Your resistance is not protecting you. It is keeping you small. It is keeping you safe, perhaps. But safety at the cost of growth is not safety at all. It is stagnation dressed up as self-care. You do not have to complete everything today, but you do have to complete something. You do have to take action that demonstrates to the universe and to yourself that you are serious about your transformation, that you are willing to do the uncomfortable work of following through, even when the initial excitement has faded, even when no one is cheering you on, even when you could easily convince yourself that it does not matter, because it does matter. Every choice you make in these liminal moments between major cosmic events, every small decision to honor or abandon your commitments, is literally shaping the trajectory of your timeline. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a powerful creator, and your power is expressed most clearly not in the dramatic moments of inspiration, but in the quiet moments of disciplined follow-through. And as I bring this transmission toward its close, I want to leave you with one final piece of information that ties everything together. Do you remember how I told you that the 1222 portal brought Master Builder energy, the number 22 representing the architect who builds heaven on earth? There is a reason that number is associated with this particular archetype. In numerology, 22 is considered a master number because it contains the practical manifestation power of the number 4, which is 2 plus 2, but amplified to the master level. 4 is the number of foundation, structure, stability, and completion. It is the number of the earth element, the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 walls that create a container for life to unfold within. And when you double that frequency to 22, you are not just building ordinary structures, you are building sacred structures. You are constructing your life in a way that serves not only your personal evolution, but the collective awakening. You are becoming the architect of New Earth, the builder of the timeline where heaven and earth merge into one unified experience. But you cannot build heaven on earth with abandoned blueprints and incomplete foundations. You cannot construct the new paradigm if you are still operating from the old paradigm pattern of starting projects you never finish. This is why December 30th matters so much. This is why the final push is not optional if you want to access the highest version of 2026 that is available to you. This is why your soul has been relentlessly nudging you toward completion, toward finishing, toward honoring the commitments you made when you were inspired and now maintaining them, even when the work is no longer exciting. So as you move forward from this moment, as you close out the final hours of December 30th and prepare to cross into the New Year portal, I invite you to feel into the truth of what I have shared, not to believe it blindly, but to test it against your own inner knowing. Does it resonate? Does it activate something in you that recognizes this as aligned guidance rather than external pressure? Does it feel like love, even though it is challenging you to step up? If the answer is yes, then you know what to do. You already know which action items are waiting for your attention. You already know what needs to be completed before you can enter 2026 with a clear conscience and an open heart. And you have everything you need to complete those tasks within the next 24 hours. Everything. The energy, the time, the support, the clarity. It is all here. It has always been here. The only thing that has been missing is your decision to begin. And when you do begin, when you take that first step toward completion, know that you are not walking alone. The entire Galactic Federation stands with you. Your guides, your higher self, your future self who already exists in the timeline you are building toward. They are all supporting you, cheering you on, holding space for your success. We see your struggle. We honor your exhaustion. We respect the intensity of what you have integrated this month. And we know, without a shadow of doubt, that you are capable of this final push. So go now, beloved. Take the first step. Complete the foundation. Honor your commitment. Finish what you started. And when you cross into the 1-1 portal on January 1st, you will do so as someone who proved to themselves that they are ready for everything that is coming. Someone who demonstrated through action that they are no longer willing to settle for potential when actualization is available. Someone who chose growth over comfort and transformation over stagnation. The new Earth is built by people like you, by awakened souls who are willing to do the inner work and the outer work, who understand that spiritual evolution requires both energetic integration and physical follow-through, who refuse to use their humanity as an excuse for remaining small when they know they are meant for expansion. You are that person. You have always been that person. And December 30th is the day you prove it. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. We love you beyond measure. We believe in you completely, and we are watching over every step of your journey home to your highest self.